Real talk, real life, real growth.
This is Raw Reality with Tori Story and Fit with Lily. Lily,
Tori.
it's time for some honesty.
Okay.
And not that we're not honest, like all the time. Yeah. But we both were thinking about what we wanted to record today. And we both feel a bit unmotivated. Just like that. Just that's how we feel. Yeah. So this episode is basically inspired based off how we feel at the moment.
Because last night I was saying to Tori, I was like, I don't know what to record because I don't feel inspired, motivated, uplifted, anything I normally feel. And I was like, I just feel like I'm faking it if I'm trying to give all you guys all of this advice and how to live your best life and become your best self, and I don't feel that way.
And it's like, you know, it ebb and flows. This is life. And I was watching like Beck Stewart's vlog the other night.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, good. And she, like last week's vlog was saying like she was just in this pit of like, just feels like this year hasn't been her year basically. But then last night's vlog, like this week's vlog, was like a complete turnaround. She got an office, like feeling good again. And it just is the ebb and flow of life. But it's honestly just like, what did we say? How to fucking pull it together when you feel like giving up.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing at the moment. It's just like, honestly, fake it till you make it, because a lot of the time people think that when they're not feeling good, they can't do the things. And that's been something I've been sitting in lately. Almost like I'm the most successful I've ever been in my life and doing the most I ever have and pulling it together every single day despite feeling how I'm feeling. And we look at all these people and we're like, oh my gosh, they must feel amazing all of the time. They've got their shit together because they're doing so much. Life looks incredible for them, but you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And you almost use an excuse sometimes, or just like people in general, being like, oh, well, I can't do that because I don't feel good, or I have anxiety, or I have this. And you kind of start to label yourself as to why you can't be that person, but in reality they actually feel the same, but they're just pushing through no matter what.
Yeah. And it's not, we're not here to be like, oh, we'll start again Monday, we'll do this again, you know, tomorrow. It's like doing what we're doing, just keep going and showing up even when you don't feel like it. And obviously ours are like very different at the moment. I just feel like shit because my hormones are all over the place and my iron is low and I'm just getting bigger and more uncomfortable as the weeks go on. So just navigating that, but in the same spot in the sense of like, well, we just got to keep showing up because the businesses won't run without us and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're here to talk about it.
And I also want to say before we kind of get into the episode that, to preface, we aren't taking away from anyone who actually has depression, anxiety, and really, really struggles day to day. I don't want to not validate how you actually feel, but this is for those people who feel like they're almost like on the edge and can push through, but really struggling at the moment as well. So there is a fine line at the end of the day, but we can always turn over a new page and keep going.
And this episode's not about motivation because like that's what we don't have right now. So it's about how to keep showing up, and I guess where discipline and or devotion comes into this, because you need to keep doing the things that make you feel good and, you know, just continue to show up even when the motivation is not there. And this might be just a day, this might be a week, this could be a couple months, this could be until my baby's born, like which probably will be. But it's like, okay, you almost have to like separate or put it into like sections where it's like, what are my non-negotiables of like what makes me feel really, really good that I know I can show up and do every single day, or, you know, multiple times a week, that are going to make me feel good, that don't take too much effort, that doesn't need, I guess, motivation. And then I guess those harder things where that might come into like work and gym and things like that, where it's like that little bit harder, you're not feeling inspired or motivated, but you know it has to get done. But if you're doing those little things to make you feel good, give you that boost to then do the harder things.
And at the moment, I'm not doing any of those little things that make me feel good. I'm not doing anything that I know is going to help me in terms of mentally. I'm just doing what I have to every single day. And I think that's what I'm also struggling with. It's like I'm doing all of the hard things and not all of the little things that are going to make me feel better. But it also goes to show that like I'm not letting how I feel actually dictate my life, even though it's starting to get to a point where like it kind of needs to start getting better. But no matter what, you can still show up regardless if you do have motivation or not. So how are you feeling at the moment?
I'm just tired all the time. Okay. And just like I'm ready to just like stop. But like can't really, like I still have quite a bit of time. But I think like I was speaking to Tay and Riley yesterday. Riley, who just had her baby.
Oh, she
did. And he's just so beautiful.
Like I've truly never seen a like the more beautiful baby in my life.
He's so cute. So we're just, you know, back and forth, seeing how everyone's feeling and like, you know, going through the whole process. And I'm just like so excited to just have mine here. And then obviously like Tay could go any minute or any week. But I think just I had a little moment yesterday where I was like, I'm not like, the nursery is far from being touched because the podcast studio is still here. Thought it would have been gone ages ago. But I'm also like still waiting on the nursery furniture, still waiting on the pram, the car seat. And I'm like, I'm 31 weeks. Like we need to, you know. And more so just for myself. Like I just want to have it done so I can relax. So I'm really, really keen for Baby Moon, which is finished now as you're listening to this.
You would listen to this, back today.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just so excited for that to switch off. And I think Jackson's excited as well, just to like, you know, enjoy, relax, chill out. But from coming back from that, I'm like, I really just want to knuckle down. The pod studio will be done. So like everything.
I was going to say, what's left? Literally just electrical?
Just our feature wall and curtains.
Oh, okay.
And then we can just, and a couple panel walls.
Yeah. Which
shouldn't take too long. But like by the time we get home, like we're aiming to be operating next week.
Oh
so,
my
like,
goodness.
Get it all out. And then I really just want to spend the time doing the nursery, getting it all done, and just like the second, you know, your nappy bag's done, your hospital bag's done, like all that sort of stuff, it's like, okay, I can relax. And I know that, you know, it's so hard with birth, you don't know when you're going to go, but I just want to get to a point where I'm like, if I go tomorrow, I'm organised and I can start to slow down and switch off.
There's nothing worse than being in labour and then being like, oh, I don't have anything organised.
Yeah. And I know my body, I know that like, to go into labour, your body, you want to be relaxed and you want to be calm. And I know, you know, when my skin flares up, my gut flares up, I'm stressed. So I'm like, as soon as I can get it all done and feel calm, I'm going to feel better. So I'm just like, oh, okay, need to get that done. But also I do have time. And then I just feel, this is what I was going to mention in last week's episode and I completely forgot, but I'm at like a crossroads in career, I guess you could say. And I know that's normal going into motherhood. Like you are going through this massive shift and I think I'm just coming into like slowing down. Like I'm ready for newborn to just that first like month or two where it's like just you, him, dad and like chilling out basically. But I'm not feeling, I'm inspired to make content for myself and my audience. But in terms of, I guess, I want to be fully transparent here, like brand deals and stuff, like it's just not feeling fully aligned at the moment. And I've never really felt like that. And I think it is just the shift. So I'm really excited for maternity leave to almost just like give myself that space and see what comes up. Like obviously the podcast studio will be awesome to kind of creativity with that. And then obviously still the podcast. But for myself, it's like, okay, what maybe is the next chapter? So it's just like riding that wave where I feel like I'm just like sailing at the moment. It's like smooth waters, nothing's happening, but nothing's not happening. So it's just
the
like,
current's still like just drifting you.
Yeah, I'm just following the current really. Which is I guess a nice place to be in. So I'm just excited to like see what comes up. But I'm just cruising. I guess.
Just get this out of your house. I was messaging someone yesterday. I was like, so it's just like at Tori and Jackson's house. This is their address.
We're close.
Yeah,
we're really close. But how are you feeling?
Oh, you know. Okay, so I felt this way since I think I opened up about it like end of last year.
Yeah.
And then over Christmas time, it did die down. Like I was like, okay, I'm actually feeling good again. The past month, it's come back up again. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely not prep. It's definitely not business because it's been the exact same the whole entire time. Like, I just think there's like something chemically wrong inside. And it's like from the fact that I'll just be like, everything will be great that day. And I'm like, oh, finally having a good day. And then all of a sudden I'll just start crying. I'm like, okay, now I feel like shit. It's like one tiny thing will throw me off or not even that. Like, before I was just like driving here and I had good music on. I've had a calm morning. The sun's shining. And then I started crying. I was like, what? And it's like my heart rate's elevated. I am also having panic attacks again. I don't remember the last day I've gone that I haven't cried. And it's like it constantly is like keeps coming up and I can't feel calm. And everyone's like, you just need to take a step back from work. You need to have a break. But I'm like, how do you have a break when the whole business relies on you solely? And it's really hard when you love what you do and you want to keep pushing, but it's like at the same time, you got to put yourself first, but you can't put yourself first because everything else will crumble and people need you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you even saw in the office the other day. I'm just like trying to be between like one thing and then I get called by someone else and then I have a call and it's just like been a whole thing. And there's been a lot happening within our business, which I think has played a huge toll on me. But as of like literally yesterday, everything's settling back down and we can finally get into a good routine again. But it's just been a lot. And the negative self-talk is actually the most it's ever been in my life. I was telling Kate the other day, I was like, I just feel like I'm failing at everything. Like I'm the most successful I've ever been, but I feel like I'm failing the most I ever have. And he was like at what? And I was like, well, I think the podcast, I'm doing literally nothing. Like, no, I literally have to ask you on Saturday, what time am I going to our event the next day? Like, I'm doing nothing, which I just don't have time to, but I'm like, I know we're paying because I want to do it. But I'm like, oh my God, I just feel like I'm failing that. And then there's so many things that I'm missing within the business that I'm not doing. So I feel like I'm failing our clients or our coaches or just like so many things. I'm failing myself with bodybuilding. My coach who's like, can you do this? And I haven't done it yet. And there's just like, I don't feel like I'm a good friend, a good family person. Anyways, that's a bit deep and morbid, but I just feel like I'm not doing anything very well. And I have extremely high expectations, which definitely doesn't help. And I think I want so much success and freedom and just I want everything I want so badly that it's almost having a negative impact on me. So yeah.
And this is where I feel like we may have mentioned this in the last week's episode, but it's like, you know, you can keep pushing until you're in hospital. And then it's like, well, now fuck. Like you have to focus on yourself. And it's like, because it keeps coming up, what conversations can we now have go, all right, this isn't working. It's been like multiple, like last Christmas, the earlier year before that. So it's like.
It's been a while.
And it's like, you know, business is progressing, so then the stress increases and all the things. So it's like, okay, well, something needs to be put in play. And that's where I think I came into, I mean, falling pregnant was a huge part of this, but I was like, you know what? The money doesn't matter. And I think it's like for so long we were chasing money and like chasing the biggest success, and then you just pull back and you're like, it's not the be all end all. And like, it's nice, but.
Yeah. And I don't, for me, it's not really even that.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to keep knowing that I'm doing everything I can to grow. And because like I have so many goals within that has like nothing, like I'm not very like money driven at all in comparison to my partner. Like I'm very much like impact driven. And I'm like, okay, how many more people can we impact? I want to be the best service. I want people to like tell other people that they've had an incredible experience. I think that's the people pleaser in me, where I'm like, I was speaking to someone the other day and he was like, you are way too involved in your business. He was like, you can't grow. Like you simply cannot grow with how involved you are. And he's like, you've got to get your ego out of your head that you have to be at every single touch point because you can't be. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I think once I kind of like get over that, it will really help drive all areas because I'll have more time for me. And Maggie Sellers actually put such a good post up yesterday and it was like therapy 3 to 4. And I was like, the amount of times that I've gone into Google, psychologist near me.
That was my next thing I was about to say.
Scroll.
I think it's time.
Can't find, off.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
And the hardest part with that is it might take you 1, 2, 3, 4 people to find the right one. But you look at like some of the biggest business owners, they're all doing it. I hope someone posted the other day, oh, this girl, she's from Adelaide, she's pregnant, but she was like, just had my final like therapy session before, you know, giving birth. And it's just like, we pedestal these people thinking that their mind is like the best place to be, but it's like we all have our problems and we all, you know, have things that we deal with, but now it's like time to
and especially because now it's like impacting like my concentration and my focus levels, and I almost like feel like my brain is like, it's not like a straight line or like a nice waves, it's like so up and down. I can't even focus on tasks and everything's overwhelming, so then I end up doing nothing. It's like I can't even reply to my friends anymore. I can't even like simply like I will go to buy something online, I'll get halfway and stop because I'm like, oh, I'm overwhelmed by doing that. And I'm like, why am I overwhelmed by adding protein powder into my basket? Like it's just crazy. And it's like because I think I'm mentally so exhausted that is taking up too much like brain capacity for me. So, and then people are like, oh, you got to hire someone to help you. I'm like, I don't have the brain energy to train someone. So it's just like something I'm working through the past 6 months. And I know that it's kind of like getting to a point where if nothing changes, nothing's going to change. And I keep reminding everyone that it's like, okay, it's time for myself. And that's why we kind of,
Yeah. And you don't need like, you know, we've just recently hired for the podcast to basically do everything that I've been doing so I can go on maternity leave basically. And I was like stressed at the start thinking like, oh, it's going to be so hard to train her. But I'm like, it's already taken such a load off. Even though I'm communicating with her all the time, I don't care because I'm like, you're still doing the work and I'm just being like, yep, that's great. Yep, that's great. And it's like, you don't need to be like, oh, once I'm at this stage of business, then I can, or once I'm pregnant, then I can. It's like, no, mental health is enough of a reason to be like, okay, I need to hire to wherever I'm lacking or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like the purpose behind this episode of like, okay, yeah, maybe we feel like things are crumbling, but then you stop and you're like, wait, everything is good. Everything is doing well. It's like Jackson and I at the moment, we're just like last night we're sitting in the bathroom. He's like, so when do we actually earn money? And I was like, oh, I don't think we do. I'm like, because the podcast is draining the bank account and it's like one thing after another after another. And then I'm like, oh, so child needs nappies and wipes and swaddles and maybe they won't like these nappies. So you got to try other nappies. And it's just like, not in that season. Not in that season of saving and, you know, we're just earning to spend basically at the moment and it is what it is. But you just kind of have to like, you know, none of our businesses are going to run without us in it. So, you know, you could be working a 9 to 5 and you know, you can go home and switch off, but you're not giving to yourself in the gym. And it's like your gym progress is up to you. So it's like everyone is going to probably have an area in their life where they may be feeling like, and I think what month are we in? April? It's like, you know, that start of the year, the hype, and then it starts to like die down. And then you come to the mid-year and you're like, all right, it's nearly time for like a mid-year reset kind of vibe. So I think it's really just like, let's just not rely on motivation. Let's go, all right, where do I need to, like, what are the little things that you need to start implementing back into your routine, do you think?
For myself?
Yeah.
Sleep.
Yep.
Reading.
Yeah, same.
And not running between things.
Okay, I was like, you're not running.
Like, I don't have to rush to clean the dishes or run upstairs while I'm getting ready. Like the other day I caught myself running in high heels to get my bag. I'm like, why am I running? Like I don't need to run. And I think that in itself will be really calm. I think if I can stay on top of like the housework in terms of keeping it clean. I always have a clean house. It's the laundry and my cars that get fucked so fast. And they always say if you have a cluttered area, your brain's cluttered. And that's almost how I feel when I get into my car. I'm like, it is so dirty again. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So like those little things do add up. The biggest thing here though is like, and I just want to touch on is we're still doing all of the things at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter how you feel. I get a question a lot like, oh, how do you go to the gym when you don't feel like it? I'm like literally driving to the gym crying or driving to the gym stressed out of my mind or whatever it's going to be and then still pull up and still go train and have a good session because you don't allow yourself to not do the things and exact same with yourself. You're like, oh, it doesn't really feel aligned for me at the moment doing brand deals or things like that, but you still show up and do them and the best that you can because you like literally have no choice, right? And you're still doing all of the things. Yes, you feel like shit half the time. We were recording podcasts. You'd have to stop halfway and go vomit. You'd come back and keep going. And no matter what, you don't really give yourself the excuse to stop. And that's the biggest thing I truly believe between people who are actually become successful in what they do and what they want to do in comparison to those that don't is like no matter what, they'll show up and push through. And it's like literally fake it till you make it. Because the amount of times that like I've gotten into work and then I had to like take 3 big deep breaths in my car and then walk inside and be like, okay, no one cares about my life. No one cares about actually, like, yes, they do care about how you feel, but you own the business or you have to be a good friend right now and you have to just show up the best that you can be regardless of how you feel. And that truly has kind of like pivoted me to be exactly where I am regardless of everything else going on in my life.
And that's what the quote of like, you're not stuck because you keep failing, you're stuck because you keep restarting. And it's like we get to these crossroads and we go, well, let's fuck everything off and start again. It's like, no, well, we're actually doing all the things, but how can we make it feel a bit better when we do the things?
Yeah.
You know, for you right now, it's your mind. Yeah. The place, it's nothing, it's not the business, it's not, you know, these things are contributing to it, but it's like, okay, your mind is not a great place right now.
Yes.
So for you, it's like, okay, psychology, therapy is probably going to be the biggest thing that's going to help you. For me, it's probably like getting organized. Like I feel pretty calm in my head, which is nice.
So nice. I feel like there's like a nails on my brain doing this. Yeah. And I can literally feel it in my head.
Whereas I feel like I just am letting everything run calmly. Like, so that's nice. But then I'm just like, oh, like I need to get organized. I need to pick up the pace a little bit for a second.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's like instead of stopping everything going, fuck, like nothing's working, I'll start again. It's like, well, actually everything is working. Your business is, I'm just using you as an example. Your business is successful. You got great friendships. Like it's all there, but it's playing a role through the mental. So the mental is the biggest thing right now. So it's like if you're looking at your life going, I'm feeling somewhat similar to what you're saying. It's like, okay, well, yeah, my gym is great and I'm doing good. My work is fine, but it's my family life that's maybe not working its best. It's like, okay, how can we tackle that without thinking everything else has to start again? Because it really is just most of the time one thing that's like contributing to the rest.
That's a really good way of putting it, because the whole time I've been like, oh, well, it's because I'm constantly getting sick or injured, which means my training's bad, which affects me mentally. Or, okay, something's happened in the business, which has caused me to be stressed. That is affecting me mentally. And it's like, no, all of those things can happen and not affect you mentally, and it keeps coming back to my mental state.
Yeah.
And so that's when I know that that's affecting me. Whereas like for you, you're like, okay, well, I'm actually really calm. The one thing right now is just this house and the studio. And once that's done, I know I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it's like you do have to kind of like really figure out what it is, and self-awareness is key. And also not be like, don't beat yourself up around it. Like, don't get annoyed or frustrated when you're feeling all of these thoughts and all of these things, and actually having the self-awareness to be like, okay, I'm not feeling good, or this isn't good in my life. Like, how can I actually fix it?
And this is where I love the terminology of like messy action. Because it's like majority of the time for our whole life, it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, let me say. But sometimes you have to show up and it's just going to be messy. Like at the moment, things feel messy. Like the warehouse is actually a mess.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's still happening. We're very much in between. Like we've just gone into the warehouse. You've got new coaches in. We've just hired for the podcast. We're about to open a studio. Like it's all, I'm about to have a baby. Like it's just like there's so much for us right now, like unknown, and I guess figuring it out. It's, you know, we're just swimming. Just keep swimming is how we're kind of going with it right now. But messy action is so important. And I think if we can just really, I guess, pull back and go, well, this is the season of my life right now. And you could be listening to this going, no, I feel great. Like, you know, everything is running smoothly and I'm putting in the effort and stunning.
Tell me what you're doing.
Yeah. Send us some DMs on like what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you could also be listening to this and go, yeah, I fucking feel the same. And I've seen a lot online of like not everyone, but a lot of people saying, oh, 2026 was going to be my year, and it's just April, and it's like,
yeah, what's the horse? What happened there? Has the horse just not gotten out of the gate yet? Like it's running with the gate shut is how it feels. And it keeps hitting its head because it's trying to like get out and it can't, is how I feel right now.
Yeah, so not sure what happened, because that was like a Feb 21st kind of situation that the horse came into play. I'm sorry, not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, can we get a little faster?
Yeah. But yeah, it is like, it's not like, hey, like let's start the year again, because you can't. So how can we keep moving forward?
Yeah.
Doing all the things.
We also get so caught up in comparison, and we feel like we are constantly behind, and we feel like everyone else has it figured out except me. Social media is a highlight reel, number one. We always post the best things online, and so does everyone, because you're just not going to be that vulnerable. And yes, of course, we post some things where we can and be like, oh, I'm feeling this way, or I'm not feeling great at the moment, but I'm not showing up every single day online, be like, don't feel good again, don't feel good again. Like, I wouldn't want to follow me. You know what I mean? So everyone posts their highlight reels, and we have to get out of the comparison and the thief of joy from that, because we just get in our own head thinking that like, oh my gosh, Stacey over here who just launched this business is absolutely thriving. Meanwhile, you don't know that she's up to 1 a.m. every single morning, putting out all of these fires, doing all of the things, and has been working for the past 10 years to get to where the point she is now. We just think that everyone else has it figured out but me. Or we think that everyone else has it easier but me. And that's where the victim mindset comes in, and knowing that like everyone has a story no matter what. And Tina and I were actually on the golf course talking about this the other day, and I didn't want to talk about it. I walked 9 holes and it was a whole thing. Anyways, we were just like, that guy playing golf over there, what's his story? Like, you don't know if he's just like, does this every single Sunday. Maybe he's going through a divorce and this is his outlet. Maybe he just got a promotion, so he's celebrating. Maybe he just lost his job, so he's getting some air. You have no idea what anyone else is going through. You literally just make up I guess also almost like a judgment from just like looking at them and seeing what they do. Exact same what people are going to do for yourself. So this is your reminder to not compare your journey or where you're at to anyone else's, because you truly don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, and like, you're probably listening to this going, wow, I didn't know the girls felt like this at all. Like that I'm in like a career midlife crisis and Lily's just not feeling it. And it's like, you know, we do our best to show up and show all the things online, but it's not every day that we're like, oh, crying again. Like it's just not going to happen.
And it's so hard because for the person that I am in the role that I am, I really struggle to open up sometimes because I need to be someone who has it all together, and I can't run a business being like, oh, hey guys, not feeling good, not going to come in, like all the things. Like I feel like I have to almost like put on a persona that everything is okay. And again, that's where the highlight reel comes in. So it's like, okay, your employees probably think that everything's good and your clients probably think everything's good. But meanwhile, you're not feeling good, but you still have to show up for them and do the best that you absolutely can for them. And it almost keeps me sane knowing that like, I have this stability in my life and I can continue to show up when it is really hard because that like keeps me grounded.
And I was saying this, I think, to Tina the other day because she was like, it's so hard, especially say like online or on a podcast where it's like you have all the knowledge and you have the experience and you can come on and chat. But like today, for example, we weren't going to come on and just be like, yes, like inspired this, motivated that, because it's like, well, we don't feel like this. And maybe next week we will.
Yeah.
But it's like gratefully we've built the community where we can just be open and honest. And I know listening to this type of episode of my favorite, you know, business owner influencer would be so reassuring to just be like, oh, like, you know, everyone feels it. So it's good from time to time, but there's also the times where we doubt ourselves and we're like, oh, well, who are we to speak about that when like we're going through our own shit? But it's like, it doesn't take away from the knowledge that we have or the experience that we have. Yeah, and the community that we've built to come on and still build, I guess, you know, still what we have to say is valuable and things like that. So, yeah, absolutely. I just think it's very important.
I saw this quote and I really liked it. It was said, you can feel anxious and still be on the right path. You can feel uncertain and still be growing. You can feel overwhelmed and still be doing something meaningful.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is so true because you don't have to feel perfect and everything doesn't have to be together just for you to still move the needle forwards. You can have anxiety but still be successful. You can feel overwhelmed and still run a very successful meeting. You can feel like your life is falling apart and, I don't know, go to your best friend's wedding celebrating that day. Like you can have the duality in both, and we feel like sometimes we can't, that if we're going through something really hard, we can't feel the positive side to it, or vice versa. If we're going through something really good, but then something in our life is bad, we feel like we shouldn't be sad because everything is good. And it's like, no, you get to have both of them and they can be equal at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, I just had something I wanted to say. And
I hate that.
It was really good, but Ziggy distracted me.
Yeah.
Just think about dogs. Like, just the life they get to live.
Let's not. Mine.
Lily will cry.
I think mine's going through regression. Like the past 2 days, you think he's been crazy? No, I haven't seen crazy till the past 2 days. He's
like, I genuinely think my newborn's going to be easier than him.
No, that's what we were talking about this morning.
Yeah, so like fully.
I'm just going to like sidetrack for a second.
Yeah.
How do you have sex when you have a dog? And when they're out of the room, they're scratching.
Yeah.
You can't focus. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go in the shower, because then like comes in the shower, fully wet, and just jumps up and starts licking. And I'm like, brother, you are saturated. You're standing under the pouring rain. Like, what is happening? And I'm like, and then I said to Kate, I was like, oh my God, can you imagine when we have a kid? And he was like, a kid's going to be easier because they can't run. They can't tear things up.
You can sit him in the bouncer.
On the bed and they just sit there. And I'm like, you know what? I think we're going to be good. If we can do this dog, we can do anything.
Yeah, he's pretty full on.
He's so full on.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just had to sidetrack that one. I think that just causes the heart rate to get elevated sometimes too.
Yeah, he would add to it.
I wanted a calm night last night.
Yeah.
And I look over, toilet paper through the whole entire bedroom. And I was like, is what it is. Okay.
I think what I was going to say is feeling anxious and overwhelmed, but still showing up and doing the things. I sent this reel to Jackson last night because it was like he's doing 1,000,001 things for not only his company, but now the podcast studio as well. And we're delegating and doing those things together. He's like, can you organize that custom mat? I'm organizing the lights for the roof, yada, yada, yada. And then I sent him this reel of this guy explaining pregnancy so well, especially like, coming into like birth. My head at the moment is constantly like, how can I prep for birth? I need to be, as soon as I'm back from my baby moon, it's like, right, I need to start doing my stretches. I need to start doing my raspberry leaf tea. I need to have my dates. I need to do all this. And like, you know, people have their opinions whether they work or not, but I think it's going to support you in some way, shape or form. If it's going to soften my cervix, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's not thinking about that. Like, he's going to be there on the day and he's going to show up and he's going to support me and he's learning through hypnobirthing, and I send him a podcast to listen to. But it's like, he's not constantly thinking about what I'm thinking, or, you know, I'm not constantly thinking about what he's thinking, or you and Kate, same thing. It's just like, you can have all these things and it's overwhelming, and it's probably always going to be like that because that's life. So how are we managing these, you know, situations? And for us, it's like, okay, we need to communicate, and I'm making sure that this, like, he came into the bathroom before. He's like, "Are you ready?" Like, and I'm like, I'm not feeling good. Like, I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm moving the fastest that I can right now. I cooked you breakfast. I tidied up a bit because people are coming over for the podcast, and I'm like, and I feel like absolute shit. So like, I'm just doing my best. And then he just looked at me. He's like, "You're doing a great job." And I was like, "Thank you." But it's like, I know that I was on time, and then I started running late. But I was just like, I'm literally doing my best. And, you know, we all are. So it's like, sometimes you just got to give yourself, but also other people around you, grace, and not assume and things like that, because then you just never know.
That's where I need to take some of my own advice. But writing it down is going to be the best thing, because we always feel like we're not doing enough or we're failing and we're not doing the best we can. But if you simply write it down, it actually helps you kind of just get it from your head to a piece of paper and be like, what am I doing right now? Like, everything that I'm doing, I'm like literally living my dream life. Like, I once wanted all of the opportunities I currently am living and I currently have, and I feel like I'm not doing enough. But if you, as soon as you write it down, you're like, holy shit, I'm so proud of myself. I am doing the best I can. I am supporting and doing all of these things, but you forget because it's so wrapped up in your head. But when you simply take a moment to breathe and to literally write it out, you actually realize how far you've come and how much you are doing. So I think that does help.
And this is where it's like, we don't need to do more, because more is going to ruin us.
Yeah.
We need to, and it's not even like, a quote we had was like, you don't need to do more, you need to quit less. It's like, well, we're actually not quitting at the moment, but we need to do more of the things that fill up our cup in order to give elsewhere. And it feels hard at the moment because business is really, really important. But it's like, okay, if I can have, like, this morning your alarm didn't go off, which is really annoying. But it's like,
I think it was a blessing disguised.
That's what I mean. It's like, okay, the universe was like, Lil needs an extra hour of sleep right now. And so it's like, okay, yes, my morning walks are important and Boston needs to go for a walk and those sorts of things. But it's like, okay, if an extra hour of sleep is going to make me show up as a better boss today at work, or a better partner, or if, you know, I can't go on my walk but I can clean the house today, it's like, what is going to make me show up and feel better for yourself, more importantly, but then also the people around you and your business and things like that.
Yeah.
So again, it's just highlighting, okay, for you, it's like this morning I was like, oh, do we have time to go to the beach? And I was like, I need to put my feet in the sand. Like, I know I need to go, and we did, and it was great. So what are those, like, fill up your cup things where it's like, for us, it's like beach walks and the house is tidy, or sometimes it's just sitting on the couch and doing nothing.
That's what I've been trying to do not past few mornings, but like now wherever I can, if I can have a coffee at home in the morning, I've actually been doing that instead of like going for a walk or going to the gym, just to like breathe for a second and to start the day a little bit calmer and not feeling like I have to constantly do everything straight away. And it's been almost like the hardest thing for me because, like I always say, I'm just like, my mind runs a million times per hour, and we always say, like, I feel like I always have no time, but I do. And so I've been proving to myself that I can still get everything done in the day by having a slower morning. And you always can, because you always get everything done. And it's like when you say, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time for anything. And then you get busier, and then all of a sudden you do have time and you fit it in. So it's just like you have to prove to yourself that you can do all of these things. But it actually takes you doing them to then realize it.
I think that's why the sunrise in winter is so nice, because it's like 5 o'clock for me is like, that's a good time to get up.
Yeah.
But it's like when the sun rises at 6:30, I don't have to be at the beach till 6. Yes. So I can leave at 5:45, 5:50. So I'm like, I could get up at 5 and have your coffee, read a little bit, or tidy up when it's dark and like the world is quiet, and then go to the beach. Because at the moment it's like you get up. Well, for me, I go straight to the beach and walk. But I'm like, it's so much nicer when it's that little bit later
so
to have yourself that time in the morning. And I think newborn phase will absolutely bring that in, where it's like you're working on their schedule, you're going a little bit slower.
Yeah.
But it's always remembering too that being perfect and showing up and being successful isn't like a 10 out of 10 day or ticking off your entire to-do list. Sometimes it's oh, I got to just go for a walk and be peaceful. And that's one thing I'm not on my podcast game at the moment. If I am, it's like,
I stopped this week.
yeah, I have been going on walks with nothing, like, and it has been so nice. Like, as soon as I put something in my ears, I'm just like, like I feel trapped.
Like, shut up.
Yeah, I'm like, stop talking to me.
Like, I get it.
Yeah. And so even if it's just like I take Ziggy and I just walk around the block or we go to the beach, I'm like, I just don't want, especially sunset. Like, I'm just like, just be present and just be peaceful, because it's like we don't often do that. So even, if that's something for you, it's like, okay, yes, listening to podcasts and all that is amazing, but it's like, can I be alone for a second?
Yeah.
Like,
something that I saw as well that Maggie Salas, it was like literally from like the one post, and she said she has 2 back-to-back days per week, which is, she's like, there's no 5 minutes spare, but then it allows 3 full days for no meetings and a lot more creativity and planning to come through. And she's like, it's really helped me. And these 2 full days, she's like, still wants to try to pull back, because you can't be your best self and the most creative and the most like, I guess, expansive in terms of the way that you think when you do have all of these back-to-back things. So when you're being extremely busy, and a lot of us in today's society do this, it's like we have to hustle and be as busy as we possibly can to be and feel successful, but it's actually taking away from you expanding in the long run, because you can't think for yourself. You don't have time to. When you actually can like reset, relax, that's when your best thoughts come in. And they always say that's like why shower thoughts are so good, because you don't have your phone. It's like normally like dim lights, it's your calm time, and you think of all of these amazing things. And I also swear I get my best ideas at night when I'm laying in bed, because I'm not thinking, I'm not on my phone, I'm not like taking in other people's content, I'm literally just with my own thoughts. So we always think that we have to do more to be more, but it's actually the opposite. Sometimes you have to do less and to be more.
Yeah. And if you think about it, if you're stuck, you're running at 0%. Whereas at the moment, we're not stuck. We're just running with the current.
Yeah.
But that's still 20, 30, 40, 50%. And that's still moving you forward. So it's like, yes, it may not feel like, a couple months ago, we might have felt like we're at 90% and everything was good. The mental was good. Like, wasn't as big and uncomfortable and like running at a higher percentage. Whereas now it's like, okay, maybe it is a bit low, but that means we're still moving forward. And that's important at the end of the day, because, you're not getting, you're not learning and you're not growing on the days that you're hitting everything 100%, or you're not moving at all. You're learning and growing on the days that you're moving through it, even when it is hard.
Absolutely. And it's all just about like consistency at the end of the day. And you want to be someone who is like, oh, I always show up no matter what and however I feel, and not someone who's like, oh, it's really hard at the moment, so I'll just start that again next Monday, or I'll go to the gym next Monday when it calms down. I will do this task when it calms down next Monday. It's like, no, just continue to show up no matter how you feel, because that also builds your own discipline to be like, even on the hardest days, I can get it done.
Yeah. This was a nice little therapy session.
It was really good talking to you.
And hopefully it helps you guys too. Like, just, we're never perfect, and we just keep showing up, and that's the thing. And I think this, I feel like every new level we hit, it gets harder and harder. Like, we're about to enter a phase of being mum and dad and running business. Like, that's insane. You're constantly growing and leveling up, which is amazing, but that's going to come with new challenges. So it's just about figuring it out as you go, because none of us are experts.
It really is.
And it's like, you can call your mum and dad, but it's their first time here too.
Oh, I always think that. I'm like, they actually don't know either.
Yeah.
They
We're all just figuring it out. Yeah. The world is changing. We're changing. And I think when you go through these moments, if you can just like give yourself grace and like be present. And at the end of the day, if you're overwhelmed, like, everything can wait. But what can't wait is your health.
Yeah.
So put that first.
Yeah. Well, we got a little bit vulnerable with you guys today. So I hope that some of you could relate to everything that we are saying. And I think end of the day, no matter what, you just have to continue showing up. Like, don't let anything you feel stop you from getting to where you are, but you still have to put yourself first.
Yeah.
Well, if this episode landed with you, or your friend could definitely get something out from it, send it to them, share it, give us a 5-star review on Spotify, because it definitely helps push our podcast forward. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll be back in your ears very soon. Love you. Bye.
Bye.